Hey, everything beast here. I'm not on commute, I'm in a drive-through. It was funny, I always do my videos in the car, but it just seems to always work out that way. Still trying to get stuff started, got a fishing kayak, so I'm hoping to, get some other stuff going, actually get out, show more when I get my camera set up. Try to get out that spillway I was talking about in the last video, man. If I get to show you all that, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I want to do a follow-up video on where I was doing my review of the newer model Lews Tournament Pro, and I was pretty much saying it was better than the Custom Light, which is pretty much has the same type of features, but it's more of the composite plastic type graphite body, and so it's more of a lighter weight. And I was pretty much saying I thought bang for the buck, you got $280 for the composite light or $199 for the Tournament Pro, and I said Tournament Pro was the go-to if I was looking at the Lews lineup, my best bang for the buck, use anywhere real. Now I've been using that, it's been a couple of months. I've been using both of them back and forth. I've got both of them on St. Croix rods. I got a Bass Mojo and a St. Croix Legend, Tournament Legend, and I kind of swap them back and forth on those two rods. And I had to stand behind what I said. Lews, don't get me wrong, Custom Light's a good reel, especially if you look for lightweight. I think it would more suit, because I use medium heavy on my bait casting. I think if you threw it on like a medium rod, I think it might work better for more of that lighter application. Good reel, but the Tournament Pro, man, just has it all where it counts. And I said that about the handles, if the handles would, if I threw on some wing grips or something like that to replace those combat grips, if it would actually just be perfection. And yeah, it absolutely was. I threw on some black wing grips on there. It looked sexy as hell, and it just set it off perfect. It's a great reel. I do like. I've been throwing the Seaguar VizX 15-pound on there, and it just matches up real nice. I've fished that thing everywhere, and it's, again, don't get me wrong, the composite light's good. I've caught a lot of bass on it. It's held up really good for that graphite composite. Now the graphite, they call it that Tensu, which means they do a combination of the it's a plastic, but they use like graphite particles in there to kind of help get your structure, your bonds closer, so you have less gaps and extrinsic material that makes it more, not to go too technical, but it's like isotropic, where you've got the same loading in all directions, so it makes it, you get that lightness, but it still makes it stronger, so you have less chances of it to warp and crack through the granule structure. Not trying to get too technical. I know I might be, I'm speaking off the top of the head, but that's pretty much the gist of it. It's about the loading, and but it's still kind of plastic. You kind of feel that when you're really pushing it. You kind of it feels. I mean, it feels good if you're looking for lightweight, man. You can't beat it. It's just, you grab that sucker, there it is. But I like a hardier, kind of beefier. I mean, I'm a bigger guy. I know some people are kind of suited depending on applications. I got friends that work at like their ultralights. It seems like to me it's kind of that ultralight of the bait caster. And I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but it does. It seems like it kind of suits when I'm throwing. I had it on my medium Cast King Medium Pro, and it paired up perfectly. I threw it on my 7'6" medium heavy St. Croix. It seemed, I mean, it was there, but it seems like, it fit that lighter application a little better. I'm not trying to be long-winded, I'm just trying to give it to you. So I do think I still stand behind the Tournament Pro, man. If you look through and you do your research and you go down the line of all the Lews bait casting rods, I know they got some newer ones out there, but usually their application, their key features are about the same, and their best features are the P2 pinion, which is going to give you better casting and better strength on your spool. Their higher, I think it's like a 24 something point. It's their higher 6-pin centrifugal braking. Now, I have used the magnetic braking. I've used the MB that has a combination of centrifugal and magnetic braking, and the higher end ones that you get on the Custom Light, the TI Pro. I forgot some of the other ones. The Hypermag. Hypermag only has 4-pin, but that 6-pin centrifugal braking makes a significant amount of difference when it comes to your chances of backlashing. It just seems like it's totally better. I've had my Tournament Pro and had my friend out there with his Shimano DC, Corrado DC, and used it. The Shimano's use a lower bearings. I think they only use 6, where you get like 11 in the higher end Lews. I like the higher bearings. You get a little bit more smoothness. You don't get, again, that DC thing is something else. You got a lot of control, but I like to be able to go through there and set it, fine tune it the way that I want it to be. And man, like I said, the Tournament Pro, it has that strength, it has the brakes, it has the bearings, it has the pinion. It's got all that, and it's got an aluminum body, which has got a more rigid, stiff body, and it just feels good. Now, I do like the low profile of the Custom Light. I think it's a difference between the SLP and the LFS. So the Tournament Pro does have a bigger body, so it's not as grippier in the hand. But if you're out there and you're frogging, or you're throwing, if you're a smaller dude, maybe that Custom Light's going to fit you. With me, like I said, I'm a bigger fella, and that Tournament Pro is perfect. So there it is. If I was doing it, I'd save the $80. I've messed with them all, and I think if you're going down the line, that Tournament Pro is still king in my book. I think it beats the TI Pro. The TI Pro is nice, it looks good, but it's outdated. The paint doesn't have the pinion, it has the brakes, it has the body, it has that looks, but you can throw some wing grips on the Tournament Pro in here and smack that sucker down. So there it is. I know that was long-winded, but again, I think Tournament Pro still reigns supreme. So next time, I hope that gives you what you need.